Today, we're diving into a shocking and dangerous moment that sent waves across Europe. An aircraft carrying one of the European Union's top leaders suddenly lost all GPS signals while flying near Russian airspace. The situation could have turned into a deadly disaster, and experts believe it wasn't an accident. It happened during a recent diplomatic mission. European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen was traveling to Eastern Europe to meet NATO allies and discuss regional security. Her flight was on approach to Plovdiv Airport in Bulgaria when, suddenly, the pilots realized something was wrong. The aircraft's navigation systems began to fail. The GPS signals were completely jammed. Inside the cockpit, alarms flashed. The pilots struggled to stabilize the plane as GPS-guided instruments stopped responding. Air traffic control warned that multiple aircraft were reporting the same problem: GPS interference coming from the direction of the Black Sea, where Russian military activity has been intense for months. The crew had no choice but to switch to manual navigation using traditional instruments and paper maps, a move rarely seen in modern aviation. The aircraft eventually landed safely. But the real question remained: who was behind this dangerous act? European security experts quickly pointed their fingers at Moscow. Over the past year, NATO has recorded a dramatic increase in GPS jamming incidents traced to Russian-controlled areas. The pattern is clear: every time EU or NATO officials travel near Russia's sphere of influence, their navigation systems face interference. For those who don't know, GPS jamming is a form of electronic warfare. It involves broadcasting powerful radio signals to block satellite communication. That means planes, ships, and even missiles relying on GPS can be blinded instantly. In peacetime, it's considered an aggressive provocation. In wartime, it's a deadly weapon. According to aviation reports, Russian forces stationed in Kaliningrad, Crimea, and the Black Sea region have been using advanced jamming systems like the Krasukha and Tirada. These systems can disrupt GPS signals across hundreds of kilometers, affecting civilian and military aircraft alike. The EU flight incident seems to fit the same pattern perfectly. When journalists asked Moscow for an explanation, the Kremlin dismissed the accusations, calling them Western hysteria. But European defense officials aren't buying it. They say this wasn't a random glitch, it was a warning. A subtle but dangerous message from Russia to remind Europe who controls the skies near its borders. What makes this even more concerning is timing. The incident happened just days after the EU announced new sanctions on Russia and pledged more support for Ukraine. Many analysts believe the GPS attack was Russia's way of showing its technological reach, a form of hybrid warfare aimed at intimidation rather than open conflict. Imagine for a moment the head of the European Commission, one of the most powerful figures in Europe, flying in an aircraft that suddenly loses its ability to navigate. One small mistake, one wrong turn, and this could have been a global tragedy. That's why European leaders are taking this extremely seriously. In response, NATO has launched an urgent investigation. Military radar logs, signal intercepts, and electronic warfare data are being analyzed. Meanwhile, EU officials are calling for stricter flight route planning and stronger protection for all VIP flights traveling near Russian-controlled regions. But this raises a deeper question: how far will Russia go to assert its power? Are we witnessing the start of a new kind of silent war, not fought with missiles or tanks, but with invisible electronic weapons that can cripple entire systems without a single shot fired? Europe is now on high alert. GPS jamming, cyber attacks, and electronic warfare are no longer limited to the battlefield, they're now tools of geopolitical intimidation. And this latest incident proves that even top leaders aren't off limits. As of now, Ursula von der Leyen is safe, and the EU has not officially blamed Russia. But behind closed doors, everyone knows who the prime suspect is. The skies over Eastern Europe have become a new frontier where signals vanish, aircraft lose their way, and political messages are sent without words. This isn't just a story about one flight, it's a glimpse into the future of warfare. A world where power is measured not by missiles, but by control of the invisible spectrum, the airwaves that guide our planes, ships, and satellites. And if this was indeed a Russian warning, it means the next confrontation between Moscow and Europe might not begin with an explosion, but with silence. Thank you for watching. If you found this report informative, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more breaking updates on global military and geopolitical events. Stay tuned because the story is far from over.